Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Mondays with Christine Gutierrez. Today I want to talk to you about another important topic, as always, that I think really helps, that has helped me and that has helped a lot of my clients in building a happier and healthier life. And that's the topic of healthy boundaries. So, what are healthy boundaries? Boundaries are a imaginary, let's say, space between one person and another. And the way I like to see it, it's you understand where you end and where someone begins. If you're codependent or you're constantly worried about what other people perceive you as or think about you, then your world becomes too merged with their world, and people's perceptions of you then become your concept of what you're worth. And as I mentioned in another blog about having a sustainable happiness plan, if you are constantly reliant on other people's perceptions of you, you have an unsustainable happiness plan and an unsustainable self-worth plan, because you can't possibly rely on other people or anything outside of yourself to make sure you feel valued. People have their own stories, things change, so you really can't rely on anyone else but yourself and the divine. So, what that means is that we oftentimes, as people, because we are socialized and we learn by looking at our parents or looking at our caregivers, we oftentimes get stuck in that kind of childlike thinking of seeking approval from outside of ourselves. And while it's nice to get advice when you need it, primarily we need to have a strong sense of self so that we can know and use our intuition to say, yes, that works for me, or no, it doesn't. But when we base our entire concept of ourselves on someone else, it becomes very destructive for us. And our selves become merged with someone else, and then you disappear, really. So, how to develop a healthy sense of self so that you are here and the person is here, and you understand where you end and where someone begins. The first thing to do is realize in all the people or in all the situations where you haven't done that. So, meaning, check all the places in your life where you've said to yourself, yeah, I've been so consumed about what someone else thought of me. Or I remember a time when I was so wrapped up that I couldn't even remember what I felt. And I was so worried and constricted and fearful. And I was just so caught up in someone else. Write down all the times and all the places where you saw yourself get that way, where you were mixed in with someone else and too worried about someone else's perceptions of you that you weren't really able to keep yourself separate. And then next, I want you to look at each one and say, I forgive you. I acknowledge that I did this. And I am now ready and willing to know where I end and know where the other begins. And I'm committed to having a healthy sense of self and healthy boundaries. And so a good way to do this is that whenever you're in a situation with someone where you're getting consumed, or maybe you feel attacked or you feel vulnerable and you really want to feel whole and you don't want to be consumed or caught up with someone else, what you can do is picture literally a white bubble around you, like a container holding you in. And this visualization, this energy bubble, is a reminder for you to keep a space between you and the other. So practice this throughout the week. Try it out. See how it works. Maybe you want to practice this visualization by yourself at home and see how it feels, because there's something really powerful about being separate, about being in your own body and feeling whole, so that you're not reliant on other things or other people to make you happy. So here's to healthy boundaries, and I will see you all next week for Mindful Mondays. In the meantime, as always, share in the comments below your experience with boundaries or your lack of them, and how you're willing to, or what are some of your ways to cope with this. and share with everyone to inspire one another. Share the link with anybody that you think it might serve. And I send you much love and many blessings. Take care.